Hello, hello,
And
hello.
now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Rodrigo's controversial hot takes. No Way Home.
Oh man, why didn't you make a video about it?
Garbage! Wait, what?
Why didn't you make a video about it? I'm kind of surprised you didn't, but go ahead.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it, but I don't have the time. I don't have
Okay,
the
yeah.
Like, if I had a lot more time, I would definitely, like. But, I've tried doing stuff like that before in the past, and nobody cares. Like I tell you, like nobody cares. Like it's gonna get like I'm gonna spend like days working on it, and then nobody's gonna care. Like it's gonna have like what like 10 views maybe. Like nobody care. It's just I remember there was this one that I spent like a month editing. It was like kind of like a movie kind of review thing, and it had some pretty decent editing. Like not super good, but it was pretty well. And yeah, nobody cared. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
It's so you think that I like doing reactions? It's like if I could be doing something else, I don't think I'd mind it. I mean, it's okay, but that's like the thing that brings in people. If I do something else, then nobody cares. Like the ones where I put like those gaming highlights, like nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody cares in general, right? But slightly more, like just two more people care if I do like a certain type of thing, which is just
Yeah.
reactions. So, that's how it is. But not that it matters anymore. I'm gonna be moving on to bigger things, all right? To
Oh yeah.
the university, bruh.
Okay,
Yeah.
but Spider-Man, go ahead.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man. Boy, was that it's funny to me. It's in the theaters when I was watching it, I was like, man, this is like the first half. I was like, man, this shit is whatever. It's whatever. When then
I agree with that.
Toby and Andrew show up, it's just like, yeah, boy. But then like the proceeding days, I'm just like, even that was like not as hype as it should have been. They could have done so many things with that, and they did
Kind
like
of
the
like they
most
just walked in, right?
vanilla. Yeah, they did the most vanilla plain thing to introduce these iconic characters, and the most like ridiculous, like it just unlike it's so like not monumental. It could have been such a cool thing, but it was just like not like a random comedy movie scene that you would find like with some B-list actors that nobody cares about. It looked like an introduction for like a epic movie comedy. It's like scary movies. Like those type of shit. It looked like a
Mm.
scary movie intro. Like these are like iconic characters. These are people's childhoods, right? You treat them like this, bro. I mean, it was funny, I guess. I mean, I don't think it's gonna age well, but it was like, come on, bro. Like you really could. What I would have loved if like they actually shown the motherfuckers like blipping from their universe, like they did with Venom. Another thing about Venom, bro, they hyped up Venom being in the No Way Home, and he wasn't even there. I'm like, what the? Like he was there in the after credits, and he was there for like a second and then dipped. What the fuck was the whole point of that after credits trailer? Like just hype up for no reason. Like they have, I tell you, bro, this entire Tom Holland trilogy of Spider-Man has like no plan. They've had no plan from the start. I swear to God. Like remember in Homecoming when like Tom Holland has like a crush on like this his love interest where like it's the Vulture's daughter, right? And then the
Yeah.
plot twist is like that's Vulture's her father, right? Like it's like okay, that's cool, right? Like of the father of the crush that he has on, which was supposedly supposed to be the new MJ at the time when we all saw it, that we thought that was like okay, it's cool that like she has like a villain for a father that's never been explored. Like okay, that's fire, like I want to see where they take this. But nope, at the end of the movie she literally just disappears, like she's gone. They do like the anime excuse to like an anime transfer student just leaves and is never spoken of again by any of the characters ever in the preceding movies ever. Like she is nothing. And what was the whole movie even the point? What was the point of it then? There was no point. There was no relationships being built. It was just superficial bullshit. Like, everything in this Tom Holland universe trilogy is just so surface level and so shallow. Like, look at how they did Aunt May, bro. Aunt May in the entire trilogy isn't even like she had 3 movies. You had like all the screen time in the world to develop this bond between Aunt May and Tom Holland's Peter Parker, especially since the absence of Ben Parker, Uncle Ben isn't even like talked about at all or revealed. So like you really had to compensate with like this bond with May Parker. But they did nothing. All she is in the trilogy of the Tom Holland universe is just a piece of meat for like just other characters to like fawn on. Like, she's just attractive. That's the running gag. Like, everybody just wants to bone Aunt May in that trilogy. Like, you got Tony Stark. His introduction, Spider-Man's introduction, was Tony Stark wanting to bang his aunt, bro. Think of like that was it. That was it. And then the Happy's also trying to get with his aunt, and it's just like you spent screen time, like valuable screen time, where you could have been building up this bond. But instead, you just did the most like cheesy, corny ass comedy that's just so shallow. It's nothing. It has no weight to it. It's and then like they want to say like, oh, when Aunt May dies in a new one, it feels like nothing. It feels like nothing because she has literally been not a single mother figure to Peter Parker at all. Like, there's not a single thing that you can even say that she did. They had 3 movies. Like, look, you see the Aunt May, not even in just like Tobey Maguire's, which is the Aunt May, and they're just like the lessons that she teaches him is just incredible. And not even that, like the way she reacts to some of the things that like Tobey Maguire's like shortcomings in that movie reacts to her. Like, it just has like such an interesting bond because it's like they don't even see eye to eye on some of the things, but like because of her motherly love, she is guiding him at the same time, but she's also conflicted with him, especially in Spider-Man 2, when it's revealed that Tobey Maguire was actually one of the causes of Ben Parker's death, or a primarily reason. And even Aunt May was like, God damn, I can't even look at this man. That shit was fucking deep. And then like later on, they like through time, their bonds are just like it just fortifies, and they learn to forgive each other for what they have. And in Andrew Garfield's thing, you could even see like the mom was actually like caring. It's not as developed like nearly at all like compared to Tobey's, but it's still like something there. Like, all like Aunt May is in the Tom Holland universe is a fucking joke. Like, she's one-dimensional character. There's nothing there that is even remotely important. The only thing that she does in No Way Home, right, that makes her like an even like a mother figure that like Peter Parker looks up to, is that like during while Peter was stupidly trying to fix everybody's mistakes, she takes like one of like the important things that they need to do to heal somebody, and then like she just runs with it. I'm like, okay, she's finally doing something important, right? She's actually doing something really interesting, right? And then like ultimately that leads to her death. But it's just like that was the one important thing she did. Now you could be like, oh, but she was working in the. This is just how stupid they handled Aunt May, right? So in the whole trilogy, instead of actually giving Aunt May any level of depth and character, they always show her doing something like some humanitarian type thing. Like, they show her at charities, they show her at like a homeless shelter to give like food to the homeless, and it's just like, okay, I understand that you're trying to virtue signal this character to be like a very loving, very altruistic, optimistic, figure that everybody loves. It's just trying to do good things, but there is no depth to it. You literally just put her in a spot. It's like trying to put like a suit, like a police suit, on some random civilian. Like, you can't match. It's like trying to it just because it doesn't. There's nothing that goes into depth with anything. Like, they don't explain why she wants to do all these things, like why she feels the need to help all these people. They just literally put her in like such a shining light with no fucking depth. It's like it's a puddle. It's as shallow as a puddle with Aunt May. And then you could be like, I fucking hate that scene when she's like, Peter Parker's like he fucks up all the time in the No Way Home movie. Like, he fucks up so hard, right? Like, he's just the complete opposite. Like, he is the biggest idiot in that fucking movie. Like, Tom Holland, right? So he goes into like he starts to find Green Goblin, right? And Green Goblin is just trying to hide as a homeless dude, right? In the homeless shelter with Aunt May is just supposed like she's just there, right? Apparently she's just there, and You know, she's like Peter's out here busy trying to capture all of these like otherworldly, interdimensional entities that he's brought through the multiverse and everything, and he's all worried about that and the fabric of the universe. And then he talks to Aunt May about this homeless dude, which is Green Goblin, but he doesn't know that yet. And I remember like this man Peter Parker was like trying to explain to her, and he was like, "But Aunt May, I really got to do this really important thing. I got to save the people from the fabric of the universe." And then Aunt May doesn't even bother listening to him, and she's just like, "Peter, what did I tell you? You always gotta help people." And like this, like first of all, slow the fuck down, Aunt May. You don't even listen to what he has to say to you. Like you take like it. She just meets a random homeless guy. She doesn't even know a random homeless guy looking for Peter Parker or Spider-Man in particular. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, you gotta help everybody, even the homeless." And I'm just like, but if you let him explain, he would explain to you like the situation of this like world-ending, reality-shattering situation that he's in, and you're not even gonna let him have the time to explain. You're not even letting him understand. This is the type of shit you would do to a baby. You'd be like, "No, don't do this. You gotta do this." Like, let him explain. He's an adult. He's out of high school, bro. He's literally a fucking adult at this point. Okay, so I wouldn't be as mad at that if Aunt May like had any glimpse of what the fuck was going on. Like she's just like, "Oh, you always gotta help people regardless of what." She doesn't even know the context of anything. Like imagine like if you actually told her about any of the shit that was going on, that these people he brought in there by mistake, and these are bad people that have done bad things in their universes, and he has brought them here and they don't belong here, and it's just breaking the fabric of the universe. And she's just like, "Nope, you gotta help people, Peter." Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You are out of your depth, Aunt May. This is a cosmic forces you have no comprehension about, and you're gonna apply such a kindergarten level of a lesson to that. And it what the fuck? That's just one thing about Aunt May. The Aunt May is like such a shallow piece of shit. They really wasted so much screen time with Aunt May, making her such a running joke, making her like, "Oh yeah, she's just like an attractive, cool mom." Like really, that's it. That's another thing. Like this whole universe, so shallow, so shallow. So like, look at I hate Zendaya. Like I fucking hate this MJ. Like she's just nothing. She is like a nothing. She has the people are like, "Oh, I like this MJ, bro." Like she has no like the only thing that is like she has no depth. No depth, because look, the only thing that they use to appeal to the modern general public, right, is that like MJ's like this cool Gen Z, like angsty millennial, the Gen Zer who's like really sarcastic and pessimistic, and she's all about like a sarcastic, "Oh, I'm pretty smart and everything, I would have figured out you were Spider-Man anyways." Like shut your stupid ass up, all right? Okay, so I fucked this the whole time. Like MJ's so useless the whole time. I swear to God. So in the a character is so important to the plot when the characters inside the movie literally have to keep explaining to you how important they are to the fucking plot. Look, I remember this the whole time. The whole time in the movie, Spider-Man was like, "Oh my gosh, MJ, I couldn't do without you. Oh my gosh, MJ, you're so useful." Like, bitch, what are you talking about? That bitch is literally on a GoPro for like half of the fucking movie. She's looking through shit through a laptop. She's not doing anything remotely important. She's just looking at you doing all the shit, and she's just sitting back with Ned in the fucking lair. What are you talking about? She's doing nothing. What do you mean? She does absolutely zero thing. And I hate how they keep portraying her as like, "Oh yeah, I am just like, you're so useful, MJ. You're like, I couldn't do this without you." Yes, you could. What are you've been doing it this whole trilogy? You've been doing it with the only useful thing she's ever done in the trilogy is find like this little broken thing during Far From Home, like a broken little part of the Stark Industries like deception thing that Mysterio was using in Far From Home. Like she found a little broken thing about that was camouflaged, but since it was broken, it wasn't camouflaged anymore, and that was it. Her detective work was literally looking at a fucking falling object from the sky on the floor. That was all she did, and it's not like nobody could have found that. Anybody could have done that. It would have been different if like they made MJ like as smart as she says, like, "Oh, I'm so smart, I would have figured out Spider-Man's identity regardless," or whatever. Or like, "Oh, you can't tell me what to do," or like this bullshit. If like they even had like even bother to like develop her character at all. Like if they even did like the slightest thing, like instead of making her like just a nothing, like a zoomer that was just in detention doing whatever, scribbling or whatever. Why don't you just like put her like in a photography class or something, and then like make her take pictures? Like she's always inquisitive about what's going on, right? That would like lay into like this detective like thing that they could have gone with, but instead she's just an absolute zero that does nothing, and she just has like these smart quips all the time, and then like she always cares about Tom Holland. And that's another thing, their relationship is so one-dimensional. It's so stupid. Like I remember very vividly this scene. Tom Holland is out here talking to MJ about like how he fucked up, and all these new entities are like coming, like all Doc Ock and Green Goblin is like he fucked up so hard, and he was just trying to like he was just trying to help people remember him or whatever, and he was putting MJ, and then he explains that to MJ, and MJ's just like, oh yeah, I understand, and you didn't do anything wrong, and I love you for it. I'm like, what are you talking? This man literally was about to break the entire universe just because for a single person. That is the most selfish thing. Do you not have an ounce of a brain cell in your fucking head? If that was a real person, and he's like, if somebody told me that they almost broke the universe because their clumsy ass ruined a spell of a wizard just because so I wouldn't forget him, that billions, like infinite amount of lives would have been screwed over because of him, just because he was selfish and he wanted to keep my memory. It's not like I would have died. I just would have forgotten. It's not like you could have just walked up and just talked to her again. You met her for like a year. It's been like a year or two. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is madness. This is so stupid. I was like, man. Oh, I was like, God. And MJ is just completely fine with it. Oh yeah, I'm so glad that he fucking risked the entire universe and the world as we know it, and existence as we know it. And I'm just glad he risked it all in such a reckless decision to do a stupid ass spell that doesn't make any sense at fucking all. That Doctor Strange spell makes absolutely no fucking sense. Like there was, oh my god. Okay. The MJ. I want to I could talk about MJ for like days about how shitty her character is, how there's like nothing there to talk about. It's funny because the thing you could talk most about this MJ is how there's nothing to talk about this MJ.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing to me. And Ned, like, who the fuck gives a shit about Ned? Like, he's just comic relief. He's like MJ, but like somehow he's just another MJ. Like, there's nothing there. Like, there's absolutely nothing there. And his bond with Doctor Strange is like nothing. There's nothing there. It's just, and they always play it off with like these funny jokes and humors. It's just like, oh yeah, like let's make a Scooby-Doo reference that isn't funny at all. Yeah. These Gen Zs, they know what Scooby-Doo is, right? Like, get the fuck out of here. Doctor Strange would never be caught saying that shit. Why did you make him this goofy for this fucking movie, bro? Yeah, have you seen the Doctor Strange? That man would never say that dumbass shit. What the fuck? Yeah, whatever, bro. And another thing, I'm like, that's this stupid ass spell that makes everybody forget everything. And I'm just like, okay, they do it in like this underground layer, right? Like they do the spell, like Tom Holland fucks it up, like he always fucks up everything in life. But he fucks it up, and then it's like, okay, now you gotta trap all these fucking Green Goblin, Doctor Octopus, and all that shit. You gotta do it yourself. MJ walks into the building and she's just like, it was your spell, and technically this is all your fault. So I think you should say please. Like, bitch, get her the fuck out of the Centurion. What are you this bitch doesn't even do anything. Like, what? Who are you to ask this man who died like a million billion deaths against a divine entity who just he saved mankind as we know it by killing himself like millions and millions of times? Who are you to tell him like, please, sir, excuse me, get off your fucking high horse, MJ. You are an absolute zero, a nothing. You matter nothing. Don't even talk to that man, Doctor Strange, like that. The amount of disrespect, and I fucking hate how they made that man, Doctor Strange, bow the knee to that bullshit. I'm like, bro, did you really just say like please to that shit? Are you serious right now? They made you a fucking soy boy simp, Doctor Strange. Get the fuck out of here. It wasn't even, bruh. And did Tom Holland not even explain to her that he fucked up the spell? It's fucking his fault. What are you talking about? This is so stupid. Oh my god, I hate. Okay, so the spell, right? The spell is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. So the spell, it just coincidentally makes everybody forget about him and it's so selective, it somehow works. All right, fine. Let's accept the fact that this bullshit spell works, right? Why didn't at any moment in the movie, right? Because initially when I saw it, I thought you could only do it in that secret like lair that he did it in the beginning with when Tom Holland fucks it up.
Yeah.
But no, in the end he does it on top of the Avengers towers. So I'm just like, you could do this in any spot. First of all, that's fucking overpowered. That you could just cast a spell that manipulates people's mind like that, just like out of nowhere. You'd figure it would be like some ancient artifact, and I thought that was what the cube would be. But the cube doesn't even do that. So he just does it without the fucking cube. And I'm just like, okay, well, at that point, why didn't you do it at any other moment in the movie when things were getting bad? Like, why didn't you just like make everybody forget Tom? Like, and you could have just stopped all this destruction and chaos. But nah, this man Doctor Strange is stuck in like the mirror dimension for like 20 hours somehow after getting bullshit beaten by Tom Holland. It doesn't make any sense. Like, there was so many instances where he could have taken the box, but that man did not do anything, bro. He just slowly walked. He Michael Myers walked to that shit. That shit was fucking embarrassing, bro. I swear to God. They made and then Peter Parker has the nerve to be like, oh, I just beat Doctor Strange in 1v1. Shut your dumb ass up, bro. Shut your stupid ass up, Tom Holland. Are you serious, bro? Like, this script is such garbage, bro. I swear, I don't understand. I get mad, bro. I get mad when I see motherfuckers. I see in the news like this is breaking box office records. This is the best-selling Spider-Man movie. You know, this is breaking records at the box office. You know, and I'm just like, this is the best Spider-Man movie of all time. Get the fuck out of here. This script is dog shit. This is absolute garbage. And don't even get me started on the villains, bro. Oh my, they did. Oh. There's nothing more exciting for me to see than Tom Holland interact with these villains that he's never met before, he has no personal bonds with, and he's just constantly questioning everything. Because I like to be retold the stories that I've seen years ago. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's something that I like to see. Regurgitated story information. Thank you for that, Tom Holland. It's such a waste of potential. It's such a waste of talent, of actors, of nostalgia. It's just so terrible. I remember this man Tom Holland was like, okay, let's go save everybody because my aunt told me to. Like, all right, fine, what the fuck ever. They're gonna save the bad guys because they're misunderstood. So they go into Happy's room and they try to fix all the fucking the bad guys or whatever. I'm like, okay, fine, that's all right. This is the plan. We're gonna fix the bad guys. Okay, this is the goal now. So how is he gonna do this? Okay, he's probably gonna have to like go travel all across New York to find these items and materials to, like, you know, actually make the chemicals to like fix like the lizard or get Doc Ock. He has to like do some engineering type shit, right? He has to go to like maybe it's like Stark Tower or something like that because he's already dick riding Tony Stark for the longest in the trilogy. Might as well do it again. Oh wait, they found a way to do that in the worst possible way, right? Somehow Happy has a fucking device, that this Deus Ex Machina device that can just do everything for him in a singular room, and he can fix everybody in that room for a short amount of time, and it has everything. It's like the Stark Industries analyzer. So even after death, that man Tony Stark is carrying the shit out of this Spider-Man. Just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic writing. It's a literal box in the corner of the room. A literal box is just the answer to everything, and there's like no struggle to get everything. He literally does everything right. He knows everything. He knows what to do. He knows how to make the chemicals. He's just like, oh wow, he's just a savant. He's a genius. I know Peter Parker's like a genius and savant, but I'm pretty sure you need like you're out of your league when it comes to some of this stuff. Like, what are you talking? You can't possibly know every single thing. And even if you did, what the fuck is this box? When has this ever been established as a thing? it just okay. So we're just gonna do this, and we're just gonna pretend like the audience they don't care, right? Like, it doesn't matter, right? Because they're just gonna look at the movie. They're gonna see, oh, Toby, right? It's gonna be nostalgia, right? What the fuck was that, bro? He literally does everything without no struggle. Everything is given to him yet again. I can't make this shit up. This script could not be worse than they did. I can't make this shit up. Oh my god. And what else? Okay, let's talk about the good parts of the movie. Toby. Even Toby's part I was disappointed with, if I'm being honest. Like, I talked about like the reveal and everything, you know. I thought it was, you know, it was funny at the time, like, yeah, whatever, you know, get your giggles out, whatever. But okay, I was like, okay, cool. Now we're gonna see them in action. And I was like, all right, cool. So at this point, Aunt May is dead. You know, Aunt May, Peter Parker is actually having some sort of character conflict, some internal conflict, which is crazy. Fucking finally, he's an interesting character, not just Mr. Goody Two Shoes that's good at everything, you know, and he just automatically knows how to do everything, and he's always getting piggyback ride by everybody, and he's always getting helped by everybody, and you know, I'm like, fucking finally, he's getting some conflicting emotions. He actually hates Green Goblin because, you know, he has like this anger, and he actually wants to fucking kill this dude. I'm like, yo, shit, crazy! Look at you, Tom Holland, actually being interesting in a movie for once. Crazy. So I was like, okay, I like where this is going. So I really enjoyed that, where he was actually turning evil. But man, it just, oh man. Okay, so Toby and Andrew show up, right, and they talk about their experiences, right. There could have been so many instances where they call back to the movies. I mean, they show it. You know, there's like they could have just really just, man, there could have been so much. Like, imagine, and it makes more sense if they did it in the way that they showed you how they got in there. So they just randomly appear in the world without anybody showing them. It would be so cool if you see during the movie, mid-movie, you see like Doc Octopus when he's fighting like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, right? He just gets teleported and Spider-Man's like, what the fuck is going on, right? Like and then they show him like teleporting into the world. That makes more sense instead of them just like blipping in there. Like they're just showing up out of nowhere, you know? There's just no like theatrical thing. They just literally show up. There's like nothing there. It's so like anticlimactic. It would have been so cool, right? Like imagine if like they show like clips from the old movies, right? And like they get teleported somehow. Like they just like they're fighting and they get teleported midway, and then that would be amazing. You would see like the old movies. People would just be like, hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? It would be crazy. But you know they found a way to make that shit the lamest shit ever. They just literally show up. They just show up, and it's weird. It's awkward because you don't know what point in the movie that they show up in, so you don't know where the character arc is at the moment. So you have to end up guessing each and every time, which kind of conflicts with a lot of shit because it just doesn't establish anything right. This movie doesn't get a single thing right. I did enjoy Toby and Andrew, but man, they really could have done. They really should have done like a Spider-Verse, you know, like the animated movie. They should have done like a Spider-Verse kind of thing, where like they were like mentoring him, and they were actually showing him, and they were like showing like how they turned out more. Instead, we just have to like sit through and watch them just like fucking talk about it, which is just, bro. Like, I like hearing it, but you could have visually represented some of that shit, and that shit would have been amazing. It would have been amazing. But no, you had to do it the lamest way. You had to talk about it, bro. Are you serious? I remember there was this one time where like they have to get like the medicine, like the chemical to fix the lizard, right? Because the lizard is like one of the people that they have to find like the cure for. And I was like, okay, cool. We gotta go find the lizard.
Was in the movie? I forgot about that.
Yeah, the lizard, yeah, he was in the movie. The lizard was in the movie. So I'm just like, okay, so they gotta make the chemical to do the thing, because apparently the bullshit machine wouldn't do it. They just forget about it. They honestly just forget about the bullshit machine, and it's just like, okay, whatever. So what do? Instead of like swinging through New York City trying to find a solution, you know, trying to like actually have some sort of like conflict in the way of their goals, in the way of their interests, it just all works out. They literally they're at the high school, right? They're talking about like how Aunt May just died, and they're talking about it, and then they literally go underneath the roof of the school. They go into some random school lab, and they find all the right chemicals to fix this advanced complex chemical equation that this man Lizard made to make himself into a lizard. They find all these substances to make this antidote in a high school classroom. Are you out of your mind? Who wrote this? You tell me they found like this scientist who has spent decades of his life researching this antidote to cure himself, which ended up turning him into a lizard. They found the antidote. They fabricated an antidote in a high school laboratory. Are you fucking serious? That is the most bullshit thing I have ever fucking heard. That is the most bullshit. And you know, it would have nothing would make that fine. But I was like, okay, at least they got Toby, Andrew, and Holland, you know, all in one scene, and they're just talking around, and I was like, okay, that's cool. But man, bro, this is so late. Like in the moment, I was just only really happy to see like Toby and Andrew because I was like, yeah, I'm happy to see them. But looking back on it around, like that is so fucking lame. Imagine how cool it would have been if, like, instead of just being stuck up in a boring old classroom, they were actually telling about each other's lives when they were swinging, getting the resources through the city, right? And it was just like they were all talking about their lives, actually being Spider-Man going through the city. Imagine seeing three Spider-Men all at once, except for the end battle, and you're gonna see them swinging through the city, getting all these resources, and talking about life. That would have been so amazing. You could even see like motherfucker like Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield showing Tom Holland some moves that they learned through the years, like some mentorship type beat. But no, they're literally just there to be there. They're just there to be nostalgia bait, and it's so infuriating. Like they underused everybody. Everybody is so horribly handled. The only thing that I enjoyed about what they did is that Andrew Garfield got redemption. I had predicted this though. I remember I told my brother I was like, this is definitely gonna happen. But Andrew Garfield saved Tom Holland's MJ again. Tom Holland getting everything given to him again. He saves Tom Holland's MJ, which is his redemption for failing to save Gwen Stacy in his movie, and I thought that was really nice. That was a really nice moment. I was like, okay, that was the only good thing. I'm like, okay, cool. This was all right. I like this. This was good. It was a good callback, and it was a good character moment for not only just Tom Holland but Andrew, and it was good. But everything else, man, just imagine if like Octavius and Tobey Maguire talked a lot more. Like imagine if they actually had a chance to like chat. Cause didn't they already fix him? They did Doctor Octopus so dirty in the movie, bro. He literally he comes like a prisoner the whole movie, bro. He's literally trapped in his own arm the whole movie. They made him so pathetic. I was like, wow, the disrespect, man. The utter disrespect. I am so glad that man Green Goblin just beat the shit out of that man Tom Holland, bro. That was my favorite part of the movie, bro. When when Green Goblin just showed up and he beat the fuck out of Tom Holland. That was my favorite part, bro. That man was he was beating the fuck out of him, bro. I was like, God damn, bro. Like in the hotel where Aunt May runs away from him, and he has to get the thing. And like Tom Holland's trying to stop him,
Yeah.
and like Green Goblin's just beating the ever like fuck out of him. I was like, God damn, bro. That was my fucking favorite part, man. I was like, yes sir, yes sirree, yes sirree. Green Goblin though I did enjoy, even though it's, man, I just overall they just completely they dropped the ball so many times, bro. They dropped, oh my god, man, it was such a huge disappointment. Like the more I talk about it, the more I hate it. The less it makes sense, the more the characters are so stupid, the more the script is awful, the more the writing is just all over the place. It's so bad. Like I was like debating at this point, like I was like, you know what, it had its shortcomings, but at least I enjoyed watching it at the time. But now I'm just thinking about it, it just makes me angry. They fucked up like all these resources. They had every resources and they fucked up. But let's talk about the ending, right? Because apparently the ending saves it all and it makes it the best Spider-Man movie ever. So the ending, so Doctor Strange finally shows up after being in a movie for like 2 fucking minutes. He finally shows up and he just goes in and is like, okay, you guys fucked up the universe so hard, I gotta fucking literally stop it with my powers. And he's like, I gotta make everybody forget you and everything. And then Tom Holland actually accepting responsibility for once. He's like, okay, yeah, I fucked up hard in a lot of places. Yeah, you fucked up really hard, buddy. I still don't understand why Tom Holland couldn't just like at least like anybody forget him. Like you could let Aunt May remember. You could let like not even MJ. No, Aunt May was the most important one to remember him. That's it. That is it. Because Happy he met recently, like MJ he met recently. Ned, I don't know about Ned. Ned was like a lifelong friend or whatever. But Ned, you could honestly have a friend. If he was really your friend, you would have a friendship with him after he forgets you, and you would just kick it back again. Like I don't understand why you had to endanger all these lives just because you wanted to have it all. I mean, that's what Green Goblin says, right? He's like, Peter, you're struggling to have everything you want, right? I mean, that's the whole theme, right? That Peter is trying to, he has to accept the responsibility, not be so selfish and give it up for, the greater good, right? But, it's so childish that we are at the point where Spider-Man is a literal adult and he's making such childish moves. Like this would have been fine maybe for like the first movie, right, where he's like a freshman. Okay, then I understand he's a naive freshman. But at this point, he has been through so many life and death situations. He has been through so many phenomenal experiences, and he doesn't begin to understand the gravity of things, and it's infuriating. It's so infuriating that this man is an adult at this point, and he still doesn't understand. Just like everybody's literally been telling him, he's been growing from these experiences, growing, and he just doesn't fucking understand. But fine, whatever. He fucks up like he always fucks up. And so, but at the end, he accepts responsibility, right? That's his character arc. Hooray! So everybody goes back to their multiverse or to their universe, and I'm just like, this movie is fucking pointless. Everybody literally goes back home the way that it would have happened anyways. I mean, you could say that like, oh, they're better now. They could just, in their universes, they're gonna be fine or whatever. But then you fucking break the universe by doing that. You create so many time loops and holes. You would create such a cataclysmic amount of like on the multiverse. It would just be horrible. You would like completely destroy the fabric of reality by doing that. So what I'm assuming they did is they brought him back to the reality, and they just came back to be the same person they were. Because it wouldn't make sense if they brought him back and they were different, because then none of the shit would happen proceeding there, and then like none of like the characters that happened would even be there, because they would be different people. And if that's the case, and if they changed the fucking timeline like that, and they fucking messed up the entire Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield trilogy because Tom Holland's bitch ass just wanted his girlfriend to remember him, if you're telling me that is what happened, that might be the worst fucking thing that they have ever done. They might have just ruined the entire universes of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield on the Tom Holland one, if that's what they did. I am throwing them a bone that if when they came back to their universes, Tobey, Andrew, Doc Ock, and all of them, and Electro, whatever, they came back to be the same person that they were. But either way, either of the options, both are shit. Because one of them, nothing matters. And the other one, you ruin the trilogy for everything. It does, you have put yourself into a corner that you can't go crawl out of. And it's just the worst, you look, and nothing's confirmed at this point. We don't know if they're the same people or they're different people, or when they came out to their timeline, whatever. Whatever. Let's just move on with the story, right? Everybody forgets it. Okay, boo-hoo. Everybody. I remember at this point, everybody in the theater was crying, and I was like, "Are you serious, bro? Are you serious right now, bro? Are you like even then when I was just like, oh my god, you could hear the sad music and everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I was just like, I was feeling the mood and everything. Even then, I'm just like, bro, are you seriously crying, bro? Like it's not. Are you seriously? Anyways, that's just like some teenage bullshit. It's just when teenagers doing their fucking in their moods or whatever. But anyways, so everybody forgets him, right? And even Happy forgets him, which is hilarious to me, because Happy was the last one that he asked to not forget him in the spell, which caused it to fucking malfunction, which is hilarious to me. So I gotta see. It's some sweet revenge. I mean, how do people not like actually have a smirk on their face when this happens, bro? If this was literally anybody else, if this was like an uglier Spider-Man, if this wasn't even Spider-Man, bro, and they did the same exact plotline, nobody would be on their side. Nobody would be on this man's side. I think the only people that are on this guy's side, this Tom Holland side, the only fans of Tom Holland are the people that just are the Gen Z motherfuckers, and the girls that have a crush on him. That's it. That is the only people that I think can actually even begin to like Tom Holland, because that is the only redeeming things they have for him. His character is awful. It's terrible. And you would think like, at the end he's now his own man. He made his own suit. He's living in his own apartment. He's doing rent. He's doing his own thing, right? He's swinging through the city as a new Spider-Man. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, this entire trilogy was fucking pointless. Literally everything had no point to it from the start to the end. Nothing. Everything was completely, and you could say like, oh no, but Tom Holland, he remembers everything and he's a stronger character, right? They literally had to put the Uncle Ben dies scene, right? The iconic, the pivotal moment in every Peter Parker's life that makes him change and want to become Spider-Man, right? They put that at the end of the trilogy on the very last hour of the movie, or like the last 30 minutes of the movie, for being honest. They put a very pivotal character role for this character of the movie in the last movie, and they want to say that, oh, this is the greatest Spider-Man of all time. This is the greatest movie I've ever seen. This man literally just became Spider-Man. It took him 3 movies to become Spider-Man. It took him 3 movies to did what they have done in 3 minutes of the first Tobey Maguire movie, the first Andrew Garfield movie. It's fucking hysterical. It is baffling how people think this is a good movie. I can't even begin. I can list so many other stuff that I fucking hate about this movie. But you know what? I'm gonna let you talk because you've been mad quiet this whole time. God, it's just bad. It's just bad, man. I can't like it, bro.
Okay, I didn't hate the movie, and I liked it. I saw it, and I didn't think about it after. But after hearing you talk, I think I agree with everything you said. Really, just if you look at it like that, it's not really a good movie. But I'm not gonna look at it like that because it's a movie, and I'm not really hype about Marvel. You know what I'm saying? It's not that big to me, and I just think your expectations were a little too high.
Oh no, sir. I was actually at tremendously low expectations. I wasn't trying to be hype about this at all. Like I kept my shit really, because every time I had my expectations up, they've always been this Last of Us 2. What's the Star Wars expectations? They were like through the roof for Star Wars. Then you had well, there's the show that I'm watching right now. They fucked it up too. Expectations were high, bro. Like what more do you want me to say? Like I've learned to keep my expectations
what they
low.
said they were gonna do. Okay, everything was done. It just wasn't the way you wanted. I don't think it was. People are comparing it like, oh, this movie is the best Marvel movie. I was like, okay, no. And they're comparing the moments, like certain. I think when they showed the Spider-Mans, they're comparing that moment to like when Captain America got the hammer. The reaction.
Oh no! I've never heard that comparison. Yeah. No.
It was on TikTok, and so people are saying this movie, they're like top tier. I was like, okay, I liked the movie. It was a good movie, but it wasn't. It's not better than no movies, like not even close. And the thing is that the first half of the movie was very like
It was, it was, man, like, imagine, I don't want to cut you off, but, like, look, I remember there was a line in the movie where Doctor Strange is like, so you're going to tell me that, like, Tom Holland, like, is approaching him to, like, erase everybody's mind and memory, and then Doctor Strange even acknowledges this bullshit, this childish bullshit, like, you're telling me that instead of wanting to, like, apply to the colleges and call them and plead a case as to why you should be there, you're telling me you would rather mess with the minds of all of, like, civilization. You want to mess with everybody's head. You want to do this bullshit ass spell instead of actually doing a responsible thing and bucking up and actually pleading a case like a normal person would. And I'm just like, wow, that's, even the script knows how bullshit this is. But I'm just like, okay, fine, that's cool. But then my thing is Zendaya, right? This bitch is like so smart. Like, I am so intelligent. I'm the greatest thing. I'll figure out who Spider-Man is, and even if you didn't tell me, like, okay, whatever. So you're smart enough to do that. And I remember when she was getting interrogated because, like, she's like, girlfriend Spider-Man and the thing. She was like, they were talking like on some, oh yeah, she was like, oh, I know my rights. I know my amendments and everything. You can't do anything with that. I'm like, okay. Fine, so you know your amendments, right? But you're smart enough to know your amendments, but you're not smart enough to actually call the fucking college to, like, plead your case. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're smart and all that shit, like, but you didn't do the most fucking commonsensical shit that you could have done. Period. Like, what are you on about? Stupid ass bitch. What are you on about? If you were actually smart, you would have had that shit from the get-go. What are you talking about, bro? These are people that got accepted into MIT. Are you serious? Are you serious, bro? Like, these are people that were like the top of their class, and this is how they act. This is the movie logic. All right, my fault. I need to get that out. Like, I need to get that out there. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, the first half of them was kind of just boring. It wasn't really. There's nothing into it. Then I didn't like Aunt May's character in the movie. I didn't like how you were telling like what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're not even listening to what he was saying.
Yeah. There's no character.
Like,
yeah.
Where is this coming from? oh, we gotta help homeless people. Why? Like, why does this make
Yeah, like
sense?
what they could have given so much depth to her character early on. Like maybe she was homeless at some point when she had to take care of Peter because Uncle Ben died and she didn't have a job.
Yeah,
I thought of that fucking like character piece in that second, bro. I literally just pulled that out of my ass, and that would make so much more sense for her. That would make so much more sense why she's doing all these charity cases because she came from like this really poor background and she had to take care of like Peter in the meantime. Do you that is a character piece, but nah, instead they made her just like the attractive aunt that everybody wants to fuck, right?
yeah,
That's her character. I literally thought about that in a second, and they couldn't think about anything to give that character. Just the disrespect to these characters. It's phenomenal. It's completely just mind blowing that they would disrespect them so much. And they're getting mind control. Like people are mind controlled that this is the best movie ever. Like they're just hell bent that this is like the greatest thing. I'm like, bro, okay, well, whatever, man, whatever, bro.
and when she died, she was, well, right before she died, she was like, "No, Peter, don't." But I think she was saying something about how you don't blame yourself. I was like, "Nigga, you better blame yourself." The fuck?
Yeah, what are you talking about, on man? You're like
Yeah,
the worst fucking mother figure I've ever seen. What are you talking about? You never even raised this kid, bro. Like, are we
yeah.
supposed to like see like, bro? This bitch is like, all she is like, oh yeah, guys, I'm the cool aunt. Like, there is no mentorship except for like the last half, the last little bit that you see her. That is it. And even that, there's like some horrible life advice. Like, what are you talking about? Like, with great power comes great responsibility. Get the fuck out of here. Get the,
Yeah,
don't even dare copy that line. What are you talking about?
people were like so sad. Like it was so sad. Aunt
Oh,
Jane died. I
oh
was
my
just like,
god.
okay, like, all right, she's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, what now?
Well, to be fair, to be honest, it kind of caught me off guard that she actually did die because I was thinking like, there's no way, nothing in a Tom Holland movie ever holds any weight, and nobody ever really dies. So I was like, she's not fucking dead. But when she did die, I was like, oh, I guess she's dead. Well, that's the end of her character. That's how it goes out. Well, okay, that's great. That's great. Thanks for having this meaningless death. And the only reason people were sad about that is because they saw that Aunt May was like, they saw Peter crying. They heard the sad music. They saw like the cliche dramatic, like, I'll hold you in my
Yeah, I'm not
arms
that
while you
gullible.
die. And I'm just like, all right, you're easily to get tricked to like these like very like
Yeah,
perceptible like trickery that filmmakers always use these corny ass cliche bullshit. I mean,
I
it's an
didn't feel
MCU movie,
nothing.
I mean, it's an
Yeah,
MCU movie, I mean, I get it. They're gonna have like these cheesy, corny things or whatever. I mean, they had it in the original trilogy too, but it's just, man, there's like nothing. And you could say like, oh, but if like you don't think Aunt May has a character, then Uncle Ben, he like hardly shows up in the movie when he dies, right? It is implied in that movie. You can see how close they are through a little couple lines of dialogue in the very beginning of Spider-Man. How close him and his uncle really are, Uncle Ben. And it's easier to see that Uncle Ben has raised his Peter Parker as his son. It is so evident to see in that movie through like just the script writing and like and just the overall elements. But in this movie, it just seems like Aunt May is just taking a backseat and not doing anything. Like it just seems like she's like whatever, do whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she doesn't even, she had more screen time than Uncle Ben ever did, and she has less character than the Uncle Ben in the original trilogy. How does that make sense? Even Uncle Ben comes back and like shows like Tobey Maguire some of the life lessons. Even before he died and got shot, he was telling him about the great power comes great responsibility, and he was actually trying to teach him a lesson right then and there. Like, Aunt May is literally on her deathbed trying to teach him a lesson. It's too fucking late, Aunt May. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? You gave me some trash ass advice. Man, I swear, bro. It's so bad. It is so bad. Oh my god. They really ruined that movie, man. And I know you think I was like really hyped for this shit, but I honestly was not. Like I was looking forward to it because I was like, it's a movie I can see in the theaters, I was like, whatever. And I wasn't trying to, I was making up theories, right? But I wasn't like, whatever they do, it's whatever, right? My brothers were really hyped for it. Like they were the ones that were like hype as shit. But no, I knew to keep my expectations down because I knew, like this past year, like they just keep ruining the things that I love. So I know I had to keep an expectation down. Like everything that I'm always hyped for just ends up in disappointment. So I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I am definitely not gonna be hype about this. And even then, I enjoyed watching it at the moment, but thinking back on it now, it was just a nostalgia. That's all it was. It was a nostalgia. Because if it wasn't for that, I would just see through all the bullshit and the cracks in logic. And it was, bro, imagine Electro, bro. You know, Electro, bro. He was like the main kind of not Green Goblin was the main one, right? But he was like the main like thing that wanted to be bad again, right? He was just like, I want that new energy, right? I want that new energy. Like that man is literally like a fucking firefly. He's just looking for the nearest light. They made him like such a such a, like he's you know how childish it is. Like I want that new glowing thing. They made him like a little cat looking at a laser pointer. Are you serious, bro? Like there was nothing for like the only you had to watch. Imagine, bro. Imagine not watching the other movies and watching this movie. This movie would be complete dog shit. You would have no attachments to anybody. You'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like it's only through nostalgia that this movie is cushioned. And even with nostalgia, the cracks are just so evident. It's just such a shit. Oh my god, oh my god. I'm telling you, bro, they had no plan from the start. Because imagine if MJ actually did had Vulture as a father, and then eventually through the trilogy, she figured out that Tom Holland's Spider-Man was the one who put her dad in jail. Could you imagine how that altercation would go? How like she would handle that? That the person that she loves put her father in jail. Do you know how interesting that would be? How interesting you can make that? I'm pretty sure even if they did do that, they would fuck it up and be like, "Oh, it's okay. You can put my father in jail because I love you, Peter Parker." That's the bullshit. They were right. They would take a good idea and make it shit, but they can't think of any good ideas, so they just make shitty ideas with shitty execution. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. And I fucking hate how this movie's breaking box office records because they really think they did a good job with it. They really like, yeah, good job, guys. Really, no, you didn't. No, you did. Like if they had none, if it was just some random ass villains, and it wasn't Doc Ock, Green Goblin, or Electro, or the Lizard from like the old trilogies, or Sandman, and it was just like some random other Spider-Man villains, nobody would be hyped for this movie at all. That nobody would like actually care about this movie. This movie would be like so bad. The only thing it has going for them is the nostalgia, and they even fucked that shit up. Incredible. How could you have fucked up that bad? How? Just how? So yeah, you want to play like some Hero Showdown or something?
Yep, all good.
Yeah, my fault, man. I've just been waiting, man. I've been waiting for to talk about this with somebody because all my other friends have not watched it yet. They have not watched it, and and I'm just like, fuck. Like, I really want to talk about like what the problems that I have with this movie, bro. Because I needed to get it off my chest, and I still have a lot of things to talk about, but I just want to play the fucking game, bro. I
Well,
just wanna,
you're welcome to, but yeah, just know that it's whatever.
I really
Like
do be.
I feel like you're a little attached more. You know how like if it was Star Wars, you know how I feel about Star Wars.
Oh
If
yeah,
it was like
yeah.
Lord of the Rings, I don't feel like that to how Marvel. You know, it ain't that.
You know, honestly, I don't feel that way at all to Marvel. It may seem like I'm super hyped, but I'm just really infuriated that they wasted this potential. Like it's just like they had every resources. Like they had the old actors back. They had the ability to bring back so many good things. They had Doctor Strange at the helm. I mean not the helm, but they had Doctor Strange in the movie. You know, they could have done something with Doctor Strange, and they could have maybe bonded with Spider-Man, but no, nothing. It was all just a waste of potential. And I'm not even superly attached to the MCU. I mean, I think I like some of the movies are pretty decent movies. Like I've always like Infinity War. I've kept track with like all the Iron Man, all the movies really. I've seen all the movies at this point, but I'm not like a super fan of it. I just really enjoy watching them. But I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm like a yeah. I'm like a diehard fan. I'm just angry that the writing was so shit and people are like really, really congratulating it for being a shit movie when all they see
Yeah,
is like
that's
the
the
nostalgia
annoying
shit.
part about it.
Yeah,
making
I
it seem
hate
like
it.
it's amazing.
I hate it when every time like there's like a news article that goes as like, oh yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home, best movie of all. I fucking hate this trailer. There's like a teaser trailer on YouTube where it's just like a little like small little like 10-second clip, and it was like Spider-Man Homecoming, the greatest Spider-Man movie of all time. Are you fucking? I bet even the like the 1990s 1980s cartoon TV shows had a better idea of what Spider-Man was and a better story overall than whatever. Even the fucking, I swear, like even like some random ass animated show that they got about Spider-Man. The PS4 game probably got a better story, even though I can't speak about that. You know, I heard a lot of good things about the PS4 story, but the Spider-Man, like Tom Holland is literally the worst Spider-Man. I'm not superly attached to Spider-Man, bro. I mean, I like the movies and all, but I'm not like a super fan. I've never read the comics, you know. I'm not like a, you know, I'm not like I'm not, he's not even my favorite hero. I don't even think I have a favorite hero, bro. Like I just he's really cool, you know, whatever. He's Spider-Man or whatever. But you know, it's just wow, wow. It's like I'm not a big DC guy, but I was really mad when I saw Justice League. Like the audacity about how shit that movie was. I think I just really hate bad movies. That's why I just really hate bad movies. Like it just boils something inside me, bro. Like it's funny. Like I really care about shit that doesn't matter. It's funny. And I really care about like movies, and when you make a movie so shit, it's just like how you had, bro. You know what, Slappy? Just send me some Bollywood movies, bro. I can't with Hollywood no more, bro. This is that bullshit, man. Just send me some Bollywood, bro. I'm gonna finish Bogban, bro. I'm gonna go back to watch Tomorrow We Never Come, bro. Just send me some of that shit. I am done with Hollywood for now, bro. Like I can't with
Alright,
Hollywood.
that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm like an encyclopedia.
oh yeah, move me to Bollywood, bro. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to Bollywood for a while, bro. This is on some Hollywood bullshit. Can't believe it's garbage. Oh my god.
Alright. Alright. Cool.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I think we'll just leave the Spider-Man stuff.
I kind of want to talk about the Matrix too, because
Oh, I don't know nothing
Faye,
about
I know you don't, because you know even though I told you to watch them, and I told her that they were like good movies. At least the first two were. I mean, they all kind of enjoyable movies, but you know, but I know you haven't, so I'm just like I can't talk about it. But it's whatever. It's whatever. But yeah, I was No Way Home. Whew, I was trying to get that off my chest for a while. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate you listening, because I know nobody else will. But appreciate you listening.
I'm actually like low key, bro. Like now that I think about it, like I think you won me over. Like that's you have. It's not that good of a movie. Okay.
It wasn't. It really was not. It was a nonsensical mess. It wasn't a movie, and I
I'm not
wasn't
gonna say
even
not
done.
it's I. Okay. I'm not gonna say I hate it because when I watched it, I mean I didn't feel no goosebumps or anything. Oh, well, you know that we're in the year of nostalgia. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Everything.
yeah, for sure.
That's why it's like it's cool to see. That's why I didn't hate it. But you have really. I feel like in a couple of years, people gonna be thinking what you thinking right now.
Oh yeah, no, bro. I know I'm just spitting straight facts, straight facts. Because I haven't heard a good argument for the movie other than like, oh, you know, like the surface level, like he's learned responsibility through his struggles, and now everybody. Wait, what the fuck is going on? What the? Where you at? Yo, 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 bro, what the fuck, yo? It's
Wait,
Chewie versus.
why did it start when I wasn't even there?
It's Chewie versus Vader. He's AFK, but I don't want to kill him because that's some bullshit. I'm gonna just chill. He can kill me if he wants, but I'm not gonna do that sneak shit, bro. Just
I'm hoping he loses. We can get this round over with.
Yeah, hopefully we tie. But
Oh yeah, y'all gonna tie. Oh damn it.
Cause I ain't gonna shoot out of some honor type shit, and he might just dip because you know he's AFK.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be cool. Yes.
Yes, sir. It was just merely a force projection. We got a free one. We got a free one, Slav. We got a free one. You can even be Luke now. You can even be Luke now.
Alright, ain't that crazy? I never even get to do that. But that's if somebody joins. You want me to leave and you can fight them? Maybe go play.
You know what? I don't want to ruin this opportunity that you could play Luke just out of order. So we'll just wait a bit. We'll wait like a good minute. We'll just talk
Yeah,
about No Way
yeah,
Home.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You said you got some other points? What are the other points?
So okay, if we're gonna tie it all into a trilogy, it
Didn't
probably
feel
was
like
the.
one.
It didn't exactly. It was Tom Holland's trilogy was just the filler for the MCU to keep going. Like it was
Hmm.
all. It was just to tie in some loose ends, and that was it. They prioritized the continuity of the MCU in save for the Spider-Man character. They prioritized that instead of Spider-Man, which is just tragic to see. But I guess if it had to be somebody to be sacrificed, it would have to be Spider-Man on a business decision type beat. Because look, Spider-Man, there's a lot of Spider-Man movies, right? You can't sacrifice the MCU on a major character like a Captain America movie, right? You can't sacrifice the MCU on Captain America. He's like a major
No,
thing, right? Or Thor or Iron Man.
the big
It has
three.
to. Yeah, because those are stories that haven't been told yet on screen. I mean, Hulk has been told, but not like they don't even tell Hulk's story in the MCU, so they definitely can't even do that for him. But yeah. So these are like new characters that haven't been on screen before, and you can't, just scruff them out for like the sake of the story. So like, they just got Spider-Man because they got abundance of Spider-Man movies, which I understand. It was the business decision they had to do, but it's just so tragic to see my boy Spider-Man treated like that, bro. So tragic, bro. But yeah. So the trilogy, like I said, I feel like this whole trilogy was just that really annoying bullshit high school experiences where you make those useless relationships and bonds with people. Like, like nothing matters after the high school experience. Like everybody forgets you. In a way you could say it kind of embodies that, but I know for a fact that is not what they were going for. I am not going to give them that benefit of the
Yeah,
doubt. That is
nah, I
definitely
don't
not what they were
for
going
that.
for. That is throwing them the biggest bone you could find. That is throwing them like a dinosaur bone to a dog, bro. That is like they did not like plan for that. That was just simply
Yeah,
something
no
that
way.
that could happen. Yeah, but it's just infuriating. Like they could have spent all of like No Way. I mean, no, what's that? Far From Home, establishing that Zendaya, Tom Holland. I don't even call him MJ or like Spider-Man because those aren't even the characters, bro. It's just literally just Tom Holland and Zendaya. They could have established something between them, but they didn't in Far From Home. They really did. All they did was like, oh yeah, I kind of have a crush on you, so yeah, that's about it. Like what? Okay, okay, I get it. It's very like anticlimactic. People just have crushes on people sometimes. It's realistic, but it doesn't make for good writing. It doesn't make for a good story. It just feels like just randomness, especially when they do nothing with it. They do absolutely nothing with it. And not even that. Zendaya is such a nothing of a character that they have no backstory for her, bro. They like we've been to Ned's house, right? I mean, we haven't seen his parents, but we've seen his grandma, right? Like we at least we get like something like of Ned, but like we don't know who the fuck Zendaya is, where she's from, like what her parents are, what her family is like. Like I could see why like if she was like neglected in her family, why she would want to see the attention of Tom Holland instead, because like she's just she has the failed affection of like a family figure. I could see that maybe working out. You'd have to do a lot of work into that, but they kind of did that already with the Sam Raimi trilogy, with the Tobey Maguire trilogy. So not to rehash it, so I get that, but at least if you're gonna like not try to rehash something, at least make something else. At least make something. You didn't do anything. She's just a rant. She could just be a cameo. That's how important her character. She's just a cameo. That Daredevil cameo was more important than fucking MJ and all the three movies she was in. And Daredevil was only in there for like less than a minute.
Yeah,
I wish they did more with Daredevil, bro. I mean, I love Daredevil, bro. I don't know if you, know, I mean, I know I love Daredevil because I made you a whole essay about why
yeah.
Daredevil was fucking great, and you still haven't watched it because my opinion doesn't matter to you or anybody else, but that's okay. Um, Daredevil. I wish they really put because look, they introduced the idea of them getting interrogated, and like they need a lawyer stat, so they can like not be thrown in jail because vigilanteism is illegal. And the fact that they didn't even do anything with the legality of that is crazy to me. Like they didn't even go to court. Like at most they got a lawyer. but they didn't even go to court. Like, imagine if like you saw my boy Matt Murdock in the court, bro, doing what he always do, his bread and butter, bro, going in the court, bro. Like, you can't just tease me with Matt Murdock and not put him in a courthouse setting, not make him do his lawyer type beat, bro. Like, what do you? I feel like that is a bad omen for things to come on this new Daredevil, whatever they're gonna do with Daredevil in the MCU. I feel like they're gonna make him so shit. I just. Yeah, I have a bad feeling about this in the words of Star Wars, but yeah, they didn't do anything with. I wasn't expecting Daredevil to have any sort of like appearance. Like I was hardly gonna think he was gonna appear, but when I saw him, I was like, yeah, cool. I didn't think it was gonna do anything meaningful because that would be too much. It would be too much to handle all these returning characters and try to add Daredevil as a new character in there. So honestly, I think. Honestly, even though it was nice to see him, they really should have just kept him out of the movie. Like, it just kind of detracts from everything. It just adds too much shit to this already shit pile, and he doesn't need to be added anything more. There's already two more things that you can handle on your plate. To add Daredevil cameo is just it was just like a nightmare. Like, you didn't have to do all that. It was just a mess. Hey, look, and the guy gave up. The guy was tired of hearing me bitch about No Way Home and how bad Tom Holland is. But and the music for all these movies suck ass. Like they suck. Like there's not like you can memorize like some of the songs on The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. I memorize like the iconic Spider-Man theme from like Spider-Man's the Tobey Maguire thing. That shit actually sounds heroic. It sounds like boyastic. It sounds like bombarding. It's like so elegant. Like it feels like there's like that glimmer of hope. And like you feel like you're Spider-Man, bro. Like you just feel like you feel like the courage that he feels in that moment with some of the music that heightens the scene. And in this movie you don't feel anything, bro. Like none of the music stands out. It's just so bland. It's so generic. It's so like Marvel-esque. Try to recite me the Iron Man theme, bro. Thor theme, Hulk theme, Captain America theme.
Huh?
You can't. You can't like try to sing for me the Iron Man, Captain America, Thor theme, like anyone's theme. Like can you remember anybody's theme song?
Theme, does that count?
Okay, the Avengers theme song is the only thing that shit is fire. That's like the one thing they got. But individually,
No,
there's
I
like
know the Iron Man. Dun, dun, yeah.
get the fuck out of here, motherfucker! Back in black. Make the Iron Man theme, get the fuck out of here. They had no plan from the start for Spider-Man because everything that happens in each movie is just completely forgotten. And the thing that carried over from like Mysterio, he reveals Spider-Man's identity. That was an actually good thing. I'm glad they actually did something with that and not just shove it under the rug, even though nothing really matters because they all forget anything anyway. So I mean, I guess in the end they did shove it under the rug, so there's really no consequence in this movie. But I just. You can't.
It's just for Doctor Strange. He's gonna have an amazing movie.
Oh, I hope so. You know the guy who directed the Spider-Man movies is directing the Doctor Strange movie that's coming up, like the Tobey Maguire movies. Yes,
Who did the first Doctor Strange movie?
I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. But that was still a good movie though. I still like the first Doctor Strange movie. That was a really good movie. I really enjoyed that. That was a very good first character introduction movie. It was really good. But like the fact they don't even mention Uncle Ben at all or the past, how he got bitten by the spider.
Here you go, Vader.
Yeah, I'm going Vader. Yeah, like they didn't mention like Uncle Ben or how he got bitten by the spider. Like some of the most pivotal things for this character, they don't even mention.
Yeah, they kind of like Yeah, you're right. I was thinking about that earlier. They never really like showed the whole origin thing, but I guess they didn't want to do that.
I mean, like you could say like it's expected, like or whatever. Yeah. Like that he got bitten, or but it'd be nice to see how it is because you establish because if you show that you can like introduce some characters that way, like the way that that man in what's that shit called like in Tobey Maguire, the only reason he got when he got bitten by the spider in that laboratory, Osborn was with the name attached to it. So then already by then the Green Goblin was introduced with Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn. In the Andrew Garfield one, there was also that laboratory that worked for the Oscorp, and Oscorp was also in the. It established things. I'm choking him. I got a Chewbacca. Let me 1v1
Okay.
this bitch. How about
Yeah.
let me try 1v1. Oh, this bitch sucks. Got her ass. Yeah, what level is she? Oh God, you see the levels? Do you
I
see the
know, right?
level?
So I was like, damn, this is disappointing.
God damn, they got fucking
Glad though.
embarrassed. Jesus Christ. But yeah, like they don't even show anything about just give me something, bro. Give me like just throw a bone, bro. Like at least give some sort of explanation. Like that's like such an important thing. Like how they even ended up in a situation where it's only Aunt May taking care of him. Like that would be an important thing you got to show for any character. How could you just neglect it? It doesn't make any sense. Just that whole trilogy, man. I swear, bro.
I think it's done now. For a while at least.
Oh no, they're gonna do like three more movies, and I'm just like, whatever, bro.
Maybe they'll be
Whatever.
good. Maybe they'll
Yeah,
be Spider-Man.
yeah, I feel like they knew how badly they fucked up, so they have to give a clean slate to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just restart the whole fucking trilogy and just make everybody forget everything.